up, everybody? It's ElleJaySimmer back with another speed build, and today's speed build is super special. I love it. I think it turned out great, and the reason why it's super special is because it is, in fact, a 20K starter home. I'm super proud of this build. I worked really hard, and as you're going to see, I dug really deep through that debug menu. I think it turned out great. I'm super proud of it. It took a very long time, and I just really love the outcome, and I love the fact that it's something that you could put into one of your, saves, and your Sims would really enjoy this house, and I think it would look really cute instead of just a super plain basic starter home. It has a little bit of character to it. As you see, I did make a garage. Now, I did watch a tutorial, and I'm not super sure how to say this YouTuber's name. I think it's Schnuck. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to the tutorial that I watched down in the description so you can kind of see how I did that garage door, because it did take some time. I looked at multiple tutorials, but this was the one that I thought definitely worked the best. And I'm so glad that there's other content out there for us that are struggling to make certain things can look at, and they break it down and make it really simple. In her tutorial, she did show that she used this, I think it was like a wood paneling or fencing or something like that. And it was from, I want to say Get Famous or something like that. And I actually do not have that pack, so I just kind of went through that debug menu, like I said, and I found these wooden fences, and I sized them up and down, and I think it gave some really cool texture to the garage door, and I really like the way that it turned out. All of the landscaping, everything like that in this build is debug menu, so it doesn't cost anything. That's one way that I kept this build on budget, because I really wanted to have enough money to kind of clutter up the inside of the house and make it really lived in and comfy looking, and just, give it some personality instead of it just being kind of boring and kind of plain. So I definitely did a lot of debug landscaping. I think all of the landscaping is debug rather. So here I just am going through that menu. I'm still kind of new at using it, so it does kind of take me a while to find everything. And then once I do, as you see in the video, I kind of take out a bunch at a time, like I did with those little lights, just so that I don't have to keep going back and digging through and looking for the same item over and over, because you cannot duplicate those items. You can't use the eyedropper tool to clone them. So you definitely have to constantly go back and forth to find them. So that's kind of, I think it's easier if you're going to use an item over and over, just to like kind of place a bunch in the yard or something. And then that way you can just go ahead and grab them from there, and you don't have to dig through that debug menu, because there's a lot of items on there, and it does take quite a bit of time to find everything. And then I also here am just kind of still messing around with the landscaping. I like to do those little rocks, kind of like, edgers or something. I think it's super cute. And then I always put that dirt down just to kind of make it, give it some dimension. I really like the way, in my mind at least, I look at it like it's mulch. So instead of dirt, I think of it as mulch. So it definitely makes the flower beds really nice, and I think it's really cute. And I just wanted to give this house even more character by putting on this really cute front porch. I really, like I said, I love the way that this house turned out. I found these really cute hanging plants, as you see, to put on the front porch. And I don't know, I love this build so much. I'm really proud of it. In the back of the house, I just wanted to add like a little back door onto, out to the garden. As you'll see coming up, I do a lot in the backyard, and same thing. These are all just, debug planters and flowers and different things, just to kind of give it, some more texture, give it kind of where it looks like, a little gardener lives here, or, just a Sim that enjoys having really nice outdoor space. And I really like it. I think it's really cute. Now I'm going to put down you just saw me put down that table in the backyard. Same thing, that is a debug item. So there is some chairs that I find that go with it perfectly, and it's not, it doesn't function. So your Sims aren't going to sit at that table. But I also thought too, if you have a Sim starting out in this house, I mean, you can always take those items and just, switch them out at a later date once your Sims have a little more money or get their job or whatever you're going to do with them. And then they can just kind of buy what they want at that point. Just, definitely, like I said, starter home. Some of the things I did use as debug, mostly just outside. Everything inside the house is totally functioning. I did play test this house. There's a couple things that I did have to change. But I want to say in the screenshots at the end of this build, I mean, you'll see anything that I had to change. I don't even think it was anything too major. In a little bit, you'll see me put down these. I found these really cute, like carpets, rugs in the debug menu. And honestly, when I tried to have my Sim walk into the house, because I put one right in front of the front door, she wouldn't. So usually with these debug items, your Sim just kind of walks right through them. They don't even look at them as it being an item. But my Sim would not pass this rug. It was like a barrier. She could not walk over it. So I did have it in a couple places of the house. I did have to take those out because it just was not going to work. I tried to move it. I tried to size it up. I tried to size it down. Just, yeah. So be forewarned when you are doing builds and you're using debug items that it's always better to play test your houses before you put them on the gallery or do anything like that, because like I said, I wouldn't have thought that a rug would cause so much trouble for my Sim. She couldn't even get in the house. So definitely something, okay, there's the rug that I'm talking about. Definitely something to, just keep an eye out on. I did spend a lot of time landscaping this build, so I know that was a big chunk of the speed build was landscaping, but I think it's helpful. Honestly, the way that I learned how to landscape was watching different YouTubers and seeing how they did it, because I was always horrible at it. And once I started watching videos and just kind of getting an idea of, okay, so they're sizing it up, they're sizing it down, it gives you a better idea of when you're in game what exactly to do. And I think it's really helpful. Now, here I am finally moving on to the inside of the home. It took me a while to figure out the layout of this house, and I do change it up a little bit. I definitely wanted to make the bedroom, I didn't want to just put a single bed. I wanted this house to be for, if you had like a newlywed couple or a couple in general, that they could live in this house and, two Sims could sleep in this house. So that gave me a little bit of trouble because it took me a while to figure out how I could fit a double bed in there with the bathroom and not really change the size of the house, because I still wanted this house to be really small and just like cozy, comfy. And I really think it worked. It just took quite a while to get the floor plan right. So here I am in the kitchen still. I love the way this kitchen turned out. I think it's super cute. I love that I have the little columns in there, and that island serves as, my Sim, when I was playtesting, she did cook on it. And then she also would sit behind it. I have some bar stools that I'm going to put there. She would also sit behind it and eat too. So it's totally functioning as for cooking and, as a dining space too. And I do have 3 chairs behind the little bar. And then here I am, I'm just gonna I play around with this a little bit too, to make a nice little seating area, kind of where they can just sit down, watch some TV. I pull out some stuff from laundry day, but I think I went a lot of base game in this house. I think there's some seasons. I do have a washer and dryer from laundry day, but I think it's a lot of base game just to keep the price down too. I don't know if that just kind of worked out in my favor, but it's a lot of base game. And I think the only packs I really used was definitely seasons. I did use laundry day, and I think there's like a rug from Strangerville. So nothing too crazy. And here I go. I just am once again in that debug menu. There's so many really cute clutter items in there. I found these really pretty glass bottles. And I thought that would be perfect for decor. So I did put those above the kitchen window. You'll see in the screenshots. I think it turned out super great. And these fences are actually in the debug menu because I really wanted it to have just like that cute, white picket fence starter home look. I am going to go back and change it up a little bit. It's the same fencing, but I actually end up fencing in the entire yard. Just because I thought it looked really cute, and the way that it was laying out, it looked super nice. So I will go back and fence in the rest of the yard, but yeah, once again, those are all debug items, which is great. I never really realized how awesome that menu was until I started using it, and I didn't always use it. I just kind of recently started using it. And yeah, I mean, there's so many items in there. You can see that I cluttered up that kitchen counter right there. A lot of debug items. Those glass bottles I love. I'm so glad I found those because I just think it looks perfect in the kitchen. It matches perfectly. I even pull out a couple books. There's a cookbook on the counter. And I want to say those books actually are totally, your sim can pick it up and read it. I'm pretty positive. I went with kind of like a blue and orange color scheme. I always kind of pick a color scheme and run with it. I think it turned out really cute. It has kind of like a natural neutral vibe with like the pops of orange, which I think is super cute. And this is when I'm going to struggle a lot with this bedroom. Like I said, I just wanted it to be enough space for a double bed. I didn't want it just to be where only one sim can live here and there's no other option. So I definitely got the floor plan to work out. It took a while, but I got it in there. So I think it turned out really, really cute. It looks really comfy. I just kind of clutter it up a little bit with some plants, with some books, I think, too. And I do hang up some curtains and different stuff like that. I usually have curtains on all of my windows, but with this, it was a little bit of a money crunch. So I had to take out a couple things and move a couple things around just to make sure that everything was kind of cohesive, and each room kind of had like the same amount of clutter, and that I didn't ignore one space just to make the other one look better. Moving on into the garage, I did cut out the beginning of it because I placed a bunch of stuff in the garage, and then I realized, oh yeah, I'm doing a 20K starter home. So I did have to delete pretty much everything that actually costed money so that I could, put some debug items in instead. I love the way this garage turned out. It's really cluttered. There's, wood pieces and tools and those, what do you want to call them? Like those locker units. Those were in the debug menu, but I want to say they came from Strangerville. So those, you'd have to have that pack to see that. But on top of them, I just put all kinds of tools and some woodworking stuff just because I thought, sometimes in your garage you have some random like pieces of lumber and different stuff laying around. I also have some like of those, I think it said like they're ingredient bags, but I thought they worked really cute for like, like fertilizer or dirt or something that you would keep in your garage normally that, I think it just turned out really cute. And then I think you're going to see me kind of mess around a little bit too. I delete some items. I move some stuff around just to kind of get the budget right. And yeah, I mean, I'm just super proud of this build. I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out super cute. There you see me placing that rug again. Those I did have to delete because for some reason my sim would not walk over them. And I'm still just kind of messing around, making sure everything's perfect that way. So when I play tested it, like I said, the only problem that I had were those red looking rugs. I think you might have saw one in the garage too. And I did have to remove that because, like I said, it was like a wall to the sim. So that's the only thing that I really think is missing. And here I am. I just finished up the fence. I love it. I think it's super cute. It definitely gets a different vibe. I think it's that perfect little, starter home that you see on Pinterest or when you're driving around a neighborhood and you just see that white picket fence home. I love it. I think it turned out super, super cute, and I couldn't be more proud of this build. I really couldn't. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. We are coming up to the screenshots, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe and all those fun things, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.